Hi, I'm Ernie Conover. I'm here today with my friend Dave Hout, who I've known for years, and he's come up with a great new system to speed up the 3 months that you need generally to dry a rough turn bowl blank so that you can return it. He's going to tell us about the system.
Glad to do that. This is something that a couple of us just sort of had an idea about. Wonder if this would work. Could you dry bowls quickly using some Desiccant, silica gel? We have done pretty extensive experimentation and tried lots of different species and different thicknesses and all that. And one thing that we found is that you really don't want to exceed much over 1 inch thick. You might push it to 1 1/8 inches, but beyond that, just like any wood that you would mill, when you get into those thicker woods, it's harder to dry. And with that, we have experience checking. But as long as you stay in that inch range or down, no problem with checking. And so what I've got here is a couple of different examples. These two are out of the same log from either side, and they're fairly similar. This one is still very wet, and it weighs 335 grams right now. This one, when it was wet, was 322, so they're pretty close. So we can look at what it takes to dry that. But before I do that, I want to show you these that I did with these checks in them. These had those checks when I turned them. And I did that to see what would happen when we dried them, because normally trying to turn a thicker bowl, dry it, and then return it to make it a round, stable bowl, those kind of checks would just open up and it wouldn't even be safe. They would carry on through the wood and could fly apart. The check absolutely did not open at all. If anything, as the wood dried, it actually closed up. All we can attribute that to is that it dries so evenly when it's pulling moisture from all sides and evenly in the desiccant, that is why they don't check. And this was opposite that piece. And again, these holes are where the tree had decay and things, but the checks just didn't travel on through the piece at all. Now, before we put a bowl in and we go into that, I do want to show you also, we have this silica gel, and you can see that it's a blue purple color, and these are pink. It has an indicator in it. It's got a chemical added to the gel that when it pulls moisture, it will change color and turn pink. When it's turned pink, that means that it's reaching its capacity to hold moisture, and it won't really dry things. That's built in. The really good news here for the end users on this is you buy this stuff once and you can regenerate it. And when we say regenerate, you can dry it. And we have found that just a small, countertop toaster oven with convection, you can find those under $100. And the convection circulates the air, helps dry it a little more quickly and more evenly in there. Critical temperature, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. If you go above that, it doesn't really hurt the gel. It can take pretty high temperatures, but the chemical that's used as the indicator can be altered if you overheat it. And so 250 is the top. You want to put it on a tray in there in thin layers in the oven so that it can get lots of air around it and dry it. It takes usually 1.5 hours, 2 hours. Again, it depends on how wet it has gotten and how much you've got in the oven and those kinds of things. But you definitely can dry it and reuse it over and over and over again. It really doesn't wear out at all from that use. So now let's talk about putting a bowl in and what it takes to make sure that you aren't going to get those checks. And we're pretty well convinced that here's the problem. If you put it in and you just kind of put it on top and it's got some gel in it and the top is not in the beads, then you're going to get checks because that's not going to dry as evenly and quickly as the body is. Same thing if you just fill it inside and you don't actually immerse it. it will check every time then, because it's drying the inside, not the outside, and you'll get checks. So here's what we want to do. First of all, you see this is in a plastic bag with a seal on it. That's really important, because if you don't seal it up, it's going to pull moisture out of the air, and the desiccant will get wet before you ever put anything in it, just from the moisture that's present in the air. So we've got it sealed up, and I've got a box here, and this is just to help. If I leave it in this on the counter, the gel wants to spread out and not stay packed around the bowl. So I'm going to take this and put it in the box. And all I'm doing is stuffing it down in there so that it is inside the box. Now I'll take this loose and open this up so that we can place the bowl in there. And you wouldn't have to use this much if you've got small bowls. You don't have to use a whole thing of the desiccant. And if you use smaller quantities, just enough to do the size you're doing, that's all you have to dry. The way I'm doing this, all of that's going to probably be contaminated over time, and I'll have to dry the whole batch. So I'm going to put this in. I'm making sure that the bowl is completely immersed and that the rim is buried down in there so that there's lots of gel on top as well. I will close this back up, again, keeping the air out, and I'll restrap this. Now, what happens? Well, if we wait about 24 hours, you're going to probably find that it has started to dry, but there's a couple of things you want to do. First of all, we don't like moisture meters. They're not terribly accurate or consistent in our experience. What we do like to do is weigh bowls. This one weighed 322 grams when it was soaking wet. And so we like to use a kitchen scale for that. Just weigh the thing on there. You put it in, you dry it, and when you lose about 30% in the moisture content, or in weight, the moisture content is going to be pretty close to where it'll stabilize. So if you just take the weight and do the math, so I can take this piece out in about 24 hours and check it. And if I've lost my 30%, I'm probably pretty good. You know that different woods are going to react differently by species, by how thick you've turned it. All those things can have an effect. But about 24 hours, if it's a fairly thin bowl like this, it's going to be dry enough that you definitely can turn or apply it to the lathe and sand it and finish it and do all that. If it's a thicker bowl like one of these, it may go up to 48 hours to get that 30% or so loss in weight. With these, then you can return them, true them up, and then sand and finish those. So it's a little bit of experimentation, but weighing it and doing the percentage of weight loss is the absolute best way to do this. And different species are going to react differently. Even different cuts from the same log can react differently. So, you know, again, weighing, it's the surest way to know that you're getting in that range. So this has just opened up a lot of new fun kind of things that you can try. One other thing I would like to mention too, that if you're doing pens and the little blanks for pens, the little, you know, 3/4 squares, again, you can dry it in this overnight, have a dry blank that you can then mount and turn your pen. And you know, you can find some of those spalted woods and things that are kind of interesting that are wet that you can dry very quickly and turn pens quickly as well. So hopefully you'll give this a chance. We've had really good experience with it, and it's been lots of fun playing with it.